Hey everybody, what's going on? So I want to apologize for sleeping on Mermaid. When I did my hero review, when they dropped all the patch notes and whatnot, I just completely skipped over both Mari and Mermaid because I just didn't care. Mermaid especially, but like Mari, I don't know. I was like, I need to see this in game to see if it even really changed a lot, and I don't feel like it did. It's fine, but it was also fine before. I think the activation is it takes a little bit longer because it has to like throw a thing and then it eats everything and then it gets sent over. So you have to account for that now. Whereas before it just like ate the stuff and then it appeared like immediately. But as long as you account for that, it should be fine. But other than that, like Mermaid, I just didn't even care about. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't like that it was an epic hero. I thought that, maybe at higher levels it might become better. The original version of Mermaid, but I just never cared. It's an epic hero, and guess what else is an epic hero? That's right, you guessed it, Gadget. And you're not gonna like split your attention and focus on Mermaid because it's the cool new thing. Because I feel like that's what like developers want you to do. They like whenever they introduce a new thing, they want you to focus on that cool new thing. And it's not necessarily better. And Mermaid, in its original form, was awful, just god awful. So the original way that it worked was when you did the activation, you would get 4 bubbles. I think it's 4. It's the same amount of bubbles. 5 bubbles? You get like 5 bubbles, right? And the original way that it worked was you get 5 bubbles, and it protects those 5 things from a thing. And when you merge it would move. But then they would go away and you would get no bonus out of it. Maybe you got the mana, but if it went away by itself, you didn't get the mana. It was only if it got negative affected. But then when you activated it again, those 5 bubbles would go away and you would just get a new 5 bubbles, right? And it was awful because you didn't have any control over it other than merging, and just so that it would move to something that you cared about. But then even then it would eventually just go away anyway, and then you'd have to activate it again and hope it got on the same thing. In its current form, I just used it in Mirror Match. It is amazing, and it's probably the functionality that they meant to do, and then they were like, oh yeah, it's really bad this way, let's just fix it. Because now you get 5 bubbles. It lasts for 45 seconds, assuming that your opponent doesn't destroy them. And the cooldown is 50 seconds, but if you use it in a deck, then the cooldown you'll get reduction. You'll get an obvious amount of reduction. And then the cooldown, as soon as I find it, your cooldown will be 34 seconds. Theoretically, I mean like with this deck, right? Because you get the cooldown much quicker than the activation, you could potentially keep stacking shields onto your things. You can throw 5 shields, assuming that they don't do anything, throw another 5 shields, and they just keep adding up. And that functional difference makes this much, much better. So I'm gonna like go into. I obviously have a level 2 Mermaid. They just released it in the game. I haven't been trying at all to try to get the shards because I'm obviously focusing all my attention on on gadget shards. But I'm just gonna go through this, and I'm gonna play a game. And you're gonna understand like why this is actually really good. So when you get the 5 bubbles, a couple of things happen. If any of the bubbles get destroyed by their thing, by an opponent's like enchant sword, witch, warlock, tribunal, anything, the bubble will go away and you'll get 30 mana. At level 1, up to a level 5, because at level 5 it becomes something else, you get a damage bonus. Each unit that is in a bubble gets a damage bonus. This obviously scales to up to level 20. But my current level 2 Mermaid, everything that's in a bubble is going to get 26% bonus attack damage. Hidden Defense, which is the thing that you get at level 5, whenever a unit receives a bubble, this is what makes it amazing. It will remove any of its current negative effects. You'll obviously also get the bubble protection, and you'll get the 25% scalable damage as well. A unit will also periodically receive a bubble whenever a negative effect is applied. This unit in a mode or in a realm where it's impossible to run things without ways to protect from negative effects, Mermaid at level 5 is gonna be ridiculous. It opens up your ability to obtain or to use any kind of deck that you want. Gadget is obviously better if you have a deck that can deal with negative effects, like on its own, like an Inquisitor deck, like a Boomy Dash Blade Dancer, like a Spirit Master deck. But if you run a deck that can't, for instance, like a better version of a Demon Hunter deck without a Portal Keeper, right? Or like a Bruiser deck, because the Bruiser activated ability is really difficult, like once it starts getting into late game. Mermaid might actually be better and make that deck viable. I mean, not to say that, Bruiser isn't viable. Like I just posted a video of somebody going into 300 billion damage or whatever that was, doing a 45-minute game. And then, okay, so then when you get to 10, you get Power Surge, which every unit in a bubble gets 15% attack speed. So not only are you getting attack damage, you're getting attack speed, you're getting a protection, you're getting a cleanse, like, and this stacks. I mean, it doesn't stack. I mean, you can just keep doing it. At level 15, which is the max, the unit will get additional crit attack, making a critical hit chance. Critical chance is much better than critical attack damage, because crit chance is how your chance to inflict a crit damage. The higher your crit chance, the more times you will hit crit damages. And with a high crit percentage, with a high crit, right? My crit's 3820. If you have a higher crit chance, it is more likely for you to be hitting that extra point, those kinds of numbers, utilizing your crit damage. I'm gonna build a deck that's also gonna showcase Gargoyle right now, and I think Gargoyle is much better, and I think that you could probably run this with Mermaid, and it would be much better. And this is what I mean by it makes decks more viable. I don't know how good this is going to work, but I think that it's going to be good. I'm going to run Enchant Sword. Gargoyle, they completely changed the functionality. So it used to, at every other merge rank, it used to become a stone gargoyle. Now there is a 35% chance of just summoning in a stone gargoyle, and whether or not your gargoyle is a regular gargoyle or a stone gargoyle, it stays that for the entirety of the game. Unless you obviously merge it out. So if you summon in a stone gargoyle, even if you upgrade it to level 2, to level 3, to level 4, it stays a stone gargoyle. Whereas a regular gargoyle, at level 1, you can now upgrade it to level 2, and it's still an attacking unit. That functional change is also immense for Gargoyle. Because originally you used to immediately die to Tribunal, and that was a big negative on it. Because if all of your units were a level 3, because you would want every other, right? So you'd want the level 2 in the center, and then you'd want everything around it to be a level 3. Before, if you got Tribunal and it hit all of the 3s, they would all become 2s, they would be turned into stone gargoyles, and then you'd have to find a very quick way of upgrading a level 2 to a level 3 in your next round, where all of your units don't attack and you just die. It was a very big detriment to its to the unit, and now that you just need to summon in a regular one and you'll always have the regular one, now it's really good. I didn't think that so here obviously we have a regular gargoyle. We're just gonna build the T setup over here, and then I'm basically just gonna eat everything up. I did upgrade my dryad, so I have the level up ability, where if I have if I have a dryad on the field and it doesn't have the Fairy of Rage, it will upgrade to. Or it will give me automatically a Fairy of Rage, and then I have a 40% chance of giving it to another Dryad as well. So what you try to do is you get rid of your the one with the. Is he just gonna die? What is he doing over there? I'm gonna activate the bubble. I just also like the activation, like it just kind of throws bubbles. I obviously don't have a stone gargoyle yet. And I actually popped my own bubble by upgrading it, and that even in and of itself gave me the plus mana, which probably means that if I merge this out, that'll also give me the mana as well. It said 70 because 40 for it popping, and then 40 for it popping and 30 for my god, this is insane. 30 for it popping and 40 because it's summoned in a dryad. And right now it's forest faction dryads. It's a whole thing. It's crazy. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna pop this. I'm gonna get rid of this and get the plus 30. I can throw more. Oh my god. I never like to charge my phone. It's a big problem. I really just wanted to showcase this one game. I'm actually going to eat this. Obtain 30 mana because I popped a thing on a bubble. You can now currently upgrade the center. You can upgrade all of it. And it's just functionally much easier than what it used to be. Because now I feel like you can just use Mermaid to protect it as opposed to keeping a Portal Keeper. I want to merge this. I want to merge this out, but I also want a level 3. A level 3 scrapper. There we go. So I'm gonna merge this out, and I'm gonna eat that, and then I'm gonna eat that, and then I'm gonna throw a bunch of bubbles. Yeah, and even when it pops, you still get the plus in mana. So that's gonna help you very subtly, just like to obtain mana without a mana producing thing. I'm gonna eat this one, and get the scrapper hit as well as the 30 mana. This is Mermaid is obviously not gonna save you from Puppeteer, but it basically will save you from everything else. And everything that's in a bubble is also getting that plus 2 attack. It's obviously going to save me from Tribunal as well. So I might do this, do this, do this. I have 50 seconds left. I will get another activation. So I'm going to activate that one right now. I'm actually gonna merge these two. And then merge this up. I can actually merge these two. Do that. And then do that. And then it covers everything that's not already in a bubble, which is amazing. Which means that when this tribunal hits me, it won't hit me. I mean, it might hit this guy, which is the best that it could possibly do. It's just going to take away bubbles, and that's exactly what you want it to do. Because then you also get the mana off of it. I feel like this deck was never viable before, and I think this is what I mean when I say that I think that Mermaid makes decks viable. Decks that you wouldn't be able to use for one reason or another, it makes it better. And if I had the extra bonus or the level 5 ability, level 10 ability, I would have a cleanse. So even if it did get affected, I would have a cleanse for it. And then I would get the attack speed boost, and I would get crit chance. I think this thing is insane. I don't know why I was sleeping on it, but this is my apology to all of you. It's great. It's amazing. Like, it's really good.